episode 9 of Beverly Hills Housewives. Hi, welcome to Voices of Reality. I'm Farron, this is
Elisa.
And we will be talking, chatting about episode 9 of Beverly Hills Housewives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the tea about reality shows, and continue to comment and we will comment back. So let's get into it with the episode, starting out again with Garcelle's 55th birthday party.
Yes, it's winding down at this point.
Continuation of Sutton and Diana going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's how I felt. It was like playing ping pong. You say something, I say something. It was like a lot of back and forth with Kyle being a terrible mediator.
Yes, horrible, one-sided.
Yeah. So again, Sutton cries. And I don't think Diana really felt bad for Sutton. It was kind of like, I need this woman to get off my case, hug me, and move on and get out of my face. And Sutton crying, I don't know why. Like, Sutton, I think she's bipolar.
I think she might have some kind of loose screw, but
passive aggressive, and it's just like, oh my God, get it together, son. Even though I like her though.
I do like her, and I just think like she's really trying hard to make things right between Diana. But I do think that I get why she was crying. I think her feelings were hurt. Like, come on, she's being called old, frail. She's lying about her miscarriages. She's telling me that she was trying to like she made it seem bad that she was trying to she wasn't empathetic toward her brother dying. She I don't know. That would make anyone cry. You know, I'm not like a big crier like that, but I would have definitely defended myself. But a lot of people do respond in crying.
Yeah, and then when she started crying, Kyle decided to hug her at that point. And I think Kyle tried to comfort her. And I guess eventually Diane just I don't think she gave in. She just for the time being, let me just appease this woman.
Yeah, she did.
No, it's all good. I'm telling you, it's all good.
I'm gonna be like, I literally cannot with these two.
That's fake hug.
Yeah, she gave her like a old fake hug. It wasn't even like she didn't embrace her. It was like she just put her head on her shoulder. It was fake to me. Like it was like forced. Like she just wanted it to end. Like she was probably tired. She wanted to go home. Like I think that's the only reason she hugged Sutton, but I don't think it was genuine.
And that scene was a little drawn out for me, so it was like a little bit too much. So moving right along, drunk Erika and Garcelle's son Oliver.
Now, and Dorit. And Dorit was sitting right there.
He was sitting there. So I know of Garcelle's son from watching The View. So I already know he's married. I already know he has kids. One kid with this woman, and she had, I think, 3 or maybe 2 other kids. Garcelle and him, they were estranged for a while. And, he was in the streets. So then he has like a little dark past. So it seems like, and I'm not saying anything, but to me, it seems like once the Garcelle started becoming on The Real and started becoming on the Housewives, I started seeing a little bit more of Oliver. Because I didn't know she had no older son. Like before Beverly Hills, I only knew she had those 2 twins. So when Beverly Hills first started, she did mention, I have an older son, and kind of talked about his rough upbringing. So all in all, she has an older son. And Erika was really disgusting.
Yeah, I think even to her referring to his wife as a baby mama and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. To me, I felt like it had some certain undertones, and I'm very.
I don't think so. I don't know if she knows he's married. I don't know how much Garcelle told them about her son. I mean, I know he's married based on watching The Real. Garcelle has mentioned, but I don't know if Erika knows he's married.
I think she asked. Like, I think it did come up. I remember her asking, and I think somebody answered and said yes.
Taken or something like that. I think that's what she said. Are you taken?
Yeah, but why would you assume like that it's a baby's mama? Like, I'm just wondering, would she have done that if it was anyone else?
Have your baby mama contact me on my DMs. We can get it in 3-way. It's all good.
Oh my God!
Like, she's just gonna assume, and then you're gonna refer to I just think if it was anyone else, she would have said girlfriend, or she would have like said something else that wasn't as demeaning. Like, I feel like when you refer to somebody as baby mama, that has a certain undertone to it, and I don't like it.
Good point. I didn't think about that. I didn't. That went over my head. My whole thing was her trying to imply that, oh yeah, let's have a threesome, and I was like, oh my God, she looks disgusting.
Yeah, I think she wasn't implying that, but I just think like there's a lot of unconscious little undertone racism that goes on. I'm very sensitive to it. So when I see it,
yeah, now that you
know.
say yes, would she have said that for Carl's son? Or Dorit?
No, she would have been like your girlfriend or your wife. Like, she would have probably assumed that it was a wife, or she probably would have said, she would have referred to it as girlfriend. And, we're going to get to the other son, the way she was disrespectful too. And I believe that has a lot to do with indifference and color.
So we'll touch base on that. So again, Oliver, you're so hot. Her legs were wide open.
Your boy Oliver is hot. We were just wondering.
She's trying to hit on your son.
He seemed a little comfortable, but he entertained it by smiling, and then when she said, come over, he sat down.
Oliver, be a man and come sit here. Sit down.
Yes.
1 second. Okay.
What's up?
We just wanted to bullshit with you for 5 seconds.
Go ahead.
Where's your mom?
She's over there.
We heard a lot about you.
Did you?
Yeah, we
Good
did.
things.
Honey,
Yeah.
let's go.
No, wait.
Is it
I'm
time?
talking.
Yeah.
No, sweetheart, I'm talking.
I get it. Let your hair down, have a good time. But this doesn't feel like that. This feels like take a moment, reassess your life. What's happening? Where are you going? This is not okay.
I love you. However, happy birthday.
Yes, I'm
It was
leaving.
nice to meet you.
Oh my God, he shut me down.
I'll see you again.
Look, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know. You drive.
Are you sure? You sure you know that?
Yeah.
Garcelle, you don't want these flowers? You don't want your flowers?
Sure.
Okay, here. Okay, we're out.
Wait.
Love you girls. Bye.
Disgusting. Like, I get it, you're drunk, but you're looking very disgusting. That's what it was to me. Like, I don't think I've ever been that drunk where someone could be like, oh my God, look at Farrah just throwing herself on this person. Like, it was just disgusting. Like, control, have some dignity and class. Like, that's what it was. She was just disgusting to me. And
I do think it.
Well, her coming at her son, and he seemed respectful. He didn't seem like he was in shock. Like, what? And he's smiling, but it was like an uncomfortable smile.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was being just respectful, like anybody else would. I don't think he was like saying like, he was being friendly and respectful. Like, I just don't think he wanted to be mean to her. Like, get the F out of here, I'm married. Like, I just think he knew that she was having a good time. Probably she was over her limit with the drinking, and he just like, let her down easy and kind of dismissed her at the end. And I thought that was really respectful of him.
Yeah. So then the scene after he dismisses her is Garcelle telling her son to go back inside and get the flowers. That was at the table where Dorit and Erika was sitting.
What are you doing here?
Flowers.
Get the out of here. Don't out of here.
Oh my, don't listen to these ladies.
Now, see that we're both silent. And Garcelle Jax goes and tells guys, oh my God, like he could tell he was shaking up. I didn't do anything. She just told me to get the F out of here. And Garcelle's like, what? And then Garcelle walks to Erika's like, this is not, did you just tell Jax to get the F out of here? See, I can't even say it. I'm not a big cursor. And she was like, what, really? And she's like, this is unacceptable.
Again, Dorit sitting right there, not saying a damn word. Not saying nothing.
Said something to Erika. She said something like, oh, you shouldn't say that. That's his son. No, this is her son.
That was Crystal that said that. Erika didn't. I mean, Dorit
No,
didn't think.
Dorit took Jackson away. Like, oh, don't worry about them. And Dorit
No,
did this.
Crystal took Jackson away.
Correct, but Dorit stayed sick. I was like, oh, that's her son. Like she said, she didn't say roughly at Erika, but she was like, oh, that's her son. Yes, her son. I mean, it wasn't her kid. She didn't attack
She was
Erika,
more
but
appalled in the confessional than she was. She was still like, I would have got away. I would have been like, it's like, you know, because she was all draped over Dorit. So I would have been like, girl, like, come on now. Like, that's her son. Relax. Like, come on. You're going to take this. You're taking this to another level. Like, Dorit was not firm with her. She was scared again. I just don't think, I think.
Comment.
Yeah, it was like nothing. To me, it was nothing. I got to rewind it back, put the clip in and see.
Get out of here before you get in trouble.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
These women escorting these teenage boys out of here. Get out!
I know Erika's drunk and I know she's joking around, but that's Garcelle's son. He's 14 years old. I feel sick to my stomach.
He's getting the flowers first, Mama. He's getting the flowers first, Mama.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing where it kind of broke Erika out of her drunkenness. But so I saw social media going up in a frenzy about this whole scene before I saw the episode. So when I did see the episode, my first thought was like, oh, Erika's very drunk. Right? That's one. Erika is a big cursor. She curses a lot. That's two. Which the way she did it was like, you're a magnet, get out of here. Like, ugh, get out. Like that was my whole take. One, you don't curse at others' children's kids because you don't know how you're going to talk. Just because you curse like a sailor doesn't mean everybody else talks to that way to their kids. I didn't like the way she was very dismissive with him. Like, like it was kind of like out of disgust. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like he was doing something to her. He looked like he was shocked. And the way that Garcelle handled it, which a lot of people were not happy with Garcelle's reaction, she handled it to me at that particular moment correctly. I didn't think it was appropriate at that particular moment for Garcelle to go off. Because again, Garcelle is a different type of person. She's very clear. I see your face already. We're going to probably light a fire in that place. Garcelle,
I think I would. Like, I really do plan not to. Like you said, she was drunk. I probably would have thought about that. But a lot of times, I myself, when I'm so angry at somebody, I don't do it to strangers. Like when it's somebody that I feel like there should be some loyalty toward, like I go off. I can't even control it. So I can't even say. I think I would have lit that place on fire.
So again, I put myself in the situation. She's totally drunk. Like this woman is drunk. My son comes out and says, oh my God, this person told me to get the F out of, get out of here. Initially, like Garcelle, like, what? Would have been my reaction. Like, what? She told you what? I think once I had at that moment approached Erika and seen how drunk she was, whatever I told her at that particular moment wasn't going to sink in.
Yeah.
I was going to be labeled again. Let's not forget Garcelle's position. Now, if she went off and it was Atlanta Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, it would have been different. Regardless, and then this has nothing to do with black and white, but there are a lot of white women also saying, oh, Garcelle should have done this. And Garcelle, I haven't seen anybody say Erika is wrong. But at this, the way that Garcelle...
That Erika was... You didn't see nobody say that.
Everybody saying so far Erika was right. I'm sorry, that Erika was right. Everyone is saying Erika was wrong. But I think also the fact that the way that Garcelle handled it, no one could say this was a gray situation where there was a possibility that Erika was right. Because Garcelle handled herself with class. She said what she had to say, walked away, and be like, I'll handle you later. Now, later on, how Garcelle handled it, we'll see. But I think at that particular moment, it was her party. Her kids were around. She don't want to go off and be the ghetto black woman on the show with the predominantly white women. And here goes the ghetto woman, and here she doing this and that. Garcelle's thinking about businesses. By the way, my girl Garcelle has a whole line of home decor that she started. She started a whole business. So she needs to think of her brand at that particular moment. Erika's looking a fool. So for me to now go into attack mode, curse you out, and do this is not the place, because Erika was probably going to get real nasty with Garcelle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think the mindset Erika was in. Totally drunk. Horny and drunk. So she could have said something to Garcelle where Garcelle went off. It could have gotten ugly. So I think Garcelle, even though social media is like, oh, she didn't handle it, she didn't stick up for her kids, we haven't seen it yet, because Garcelle said she's going to confront her. And that's what I would do at that same time. Like, look, you did this to my kids. I don't talk to my kids like that. How dare you say it? But you know what? I'm not going to say nothing to you now because you're drunk. The party was over, but if it was that the party was still going, I would have told her to escort your behind out of there. But I'll talk to you when you're sober, because I want you to hear exactly what I had to say to you. And then I would have walked away. And I told my kids, don't worry, I'm going to handle her. And trust me, she's going to be calling you and apologizing. So,
and I admire that. I do.
Well, I don't think she should have gotten loud and all ratchety. Not there, not that moment, and not with that crowd.
And I do admire Garcelle for doing that. I look up to people like that, because like I said, it's better than I would have done. I would have probably turned that place out. I would have shut the place down because I would have been so on fire. I don't think I would have been able to control myself. Like if someone disrespected my kid, and not only that, to me, I thought it has a little undertones to it. I didn't like it. So I don't think I would have been able, and that goes a lot to say, about emotional intelligence. Like I do think Garcelle is really highly emotionally intelligent. I think there's certain instances where I could learn from people when it comes to emotional intelligence, when it comes to, somebody trying to disrespect me that I have respect for, that's my friend, that's running with me in my circle. I don't tolerate that, because I just feel like it's crossing boundaries. So at that point, I do lose control. Like when it's somebody I don't know, I don't care about that. I'm not going back and forth. Somebody I don't care about, I don't care about that. But I will check somebody when it comes to crossing a boundary. So Garcelle, I admire her, and I can learn from that. Like to me, it's like, I think she did do it in a way where it let Erika know. Even though Erika was drunk, when we go to the next scene, when they start talking about it, Erika knows, like, I have to face Garcelle and her wrath.
Like, you need to know when to conduct yourself in a certain manner with who you are around.
And you have to be able to control your emotions. Like split-second decisions can ruin your life, especially when you have a lot to lose. Like, and I believe like that showed a lot of strength in Garcelle. Like to be able to, like a lot of times when someone gets us angry, we really do have to like take a second to think. And you need to respond in a way that's helpful to the situation. That's not going to exacerbate it. So I just feel like Garcelle showed us all that we gotta think before we react, and she did.
Yeah, and again, Garcelle's the first Black woman who's been on that franchise. That's one. And I feel like even some of our subscribers, a lot of these Caucasian women watching the show, this may be their first glance of seeing a Black woman interact in a reality show. The other ones, there's a bunch of action that's going on.
Yeah.
So it could be a Caucasian woman that, look, I can't watch Love and It Up because all these Black women, all they do is fight and argue.
And it feeds into the stereotype.
Yeah, it feeds into the stereotype. So here you have Garcelle coming in, and it's been a predominantly white show with only white women. Here throws Garcelle. You got a couple white women thinking like, oh, here comes the ratchet. Let's see what this white woman is going to do. And some of them probably don't even watch Black women shows. So this might be the first depiction of a Black woman.
Absolutely.
And Garcelle is doing a phenomenal job. Class, poise, intelligence. She's showing that really they're not all the same. They're not like all fighting and ghetto and acting crazy. Like this woman's respectful. Even though Erika's good or trash, this woman did not scoop that to the level.
Yes, great point.
Always have that one white woman who's gonna be like, well, and let's say Garcelle went off at Erika, like you this, you that, you would have had that one person. Well, Erika was drunk. And they would have made an excuse for Erika.
And Garcelle is aggressive. Those cold words they use for Black women.
With someone, what's the big deal? I bet you your kids curse when you're not around. I bet you curse looking for clips when Garcelle cursed or her kids cursed, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that Garcelle handled herself in that manner, they can't find anything negative to say about Garcelle in that incident. So she did a great job So I'm just waiting to see how she confronts Erika. Erika is gonna definitely have to apologize, and I'll be like, look, you need to call my son and apologize, and maybe throw him a little gift. Like it'll be one of those things. Like I want you to, and not no, you need to set time, come over to my house, or we meet somewhere. Don't even come to my house because I don't know if I really want you in my house. We're gonna meet somewhere. You're going to look at my son and apologize and let him know exactly why what you said was wrong and what state of mind you were. And I'll tell my son, this is why you shouldn't be drinking because you act the fool like she did.
Okay, so what do you think the reason was that Erika responded in that way? Do you think it was the drinks and the drinks only? And do you think if she was that drunk, do you think she would have been do you think that would have happened to one of Kyle's kids, one of Dorit's kids? Do you think the same thing would have happened even in her drunken state?
I didn't take it as, because it's a black kid. I didn't take it there. The way she did dismiss him, get the F out of here. Yeah. I think she was, and I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm thinking she was highly drunk. And again, you going from, and so infatuated with the black man, and all of a sudden going to, get out of here, you be like, it's like, that's how I felt. I didn't feel like it was racially intended. I didn't feel that. I felt that, and this is just my opinion, I didn't think she did it because he was a black kid. I think she did it out of, I don't know why the hell she did it, but I think Erika has a dirty mouth as far as she curses a lot. But my whole thing, why at that particular moment you cursed at the kid, he was just getting a flower. I'm thinking maybe she was so sexually frustrated that the brother didn't want her, and she was like, just like, get the hell out of here. I don't know her intent, but I don't think it's racially connected why she did. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think she did it because he was black.
I do.
She's rude.
I do.
Where did the black part? Like, I didn't feel it was racial.
I do. Because I just don't believe, like, no matter how drunk that you are, I just don't believe that would have happened to any like, I know, like, she was drunk. I get it. But I'm sure no matter how drunk she was, that would have never happened in Dorit's house. That would have never happened in Kyle's house. That would have never happened to any of those other ladies' houses. And the way that she spoke to him, I don't care. One thing I know from what my mother told me, when my mother, a registered nurse, worked in an emergency room 30 plus years, people will have senile, they will be on their deathbed, not even remembering their own kids. But the one thing that they'll always remember is the N-word. They'll always remember that you're black. So when you're drunk, when you're on your deathbed, one thing people will remember is who they're looking at and your skin color. So I just believe that subconsciously, I'm not saying she did it, but there's a lot of subconscious racism that goes on where you're not even aware of it, where other people, like the person that's subjected to it, is not aware of it. But I just believe, like, he's a black kid. Oh, this little peon, like, get out of here. Like, I just believe that they see color. I believe that people will say, oh, you attributing race to everything. No, that it is what it is. Like, I just believe that would have never, I don't care how drunk she was. I know they would have been able to contain themselves when it comes. I just think when it's a black person, they will let loose on the disrespect and the disregard. And I believe that has a lot to do with the way Erika treated him. I think that the older son, Oliver, is good for the mandingo penis. Because, you know, blacks are known for that, the sexual prowess and stuff like that. Like, she's okay with that. He's a good looking black man. She's good with that. But at the end of the day, he's still a black person that they look down on. And I just believe that she still looked down on Garcelle's kids. And that's the way I would have taken it. Like, because I just believe that there's a lot of subconscious racism going on. And I believe that was a show of it. She was drunk, but I believe that she still remembered what that kid looked like. And
because Dorit was saying, oh, that's Garcelle's son. So Erika knew that was Garcelle's son at the time she was saying, get the F out of here. Or do you think she thought it was one of the servants?
Well, yeah, she knew that. No, I know she knew that was Garcelle's son when she said it. And they said it to her. And she still wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh my God, that's Garcelle's son. Like, she knew, like, she still didn't let up off of it. It was just kind of like, get the F out of here. Like, to me, the way she treated him, like he was a piece of crap. Like, she don't think she would have done that.
She was disgusted by his sight.
Exactly. And it was just like not caring at all. It reminds me of little plantation owner, probably talking to slaves like that. I think she channeled a plantation owner. That's the way I took it. I know I'll be going far with my thoughts, but in a sense, I just felt like, get the F out of here. Like, I think she just disrespected him because of his color. I don't think it would happen. I think it was because it was Garcelle. I don't think it was because it was Garcelle. And it was because, yeah, she was drunk, but a lot of drunk people speak a sober mind. It lets the guard down. They become uninhibited and the real them comes out. I believe the real her came out when she saw her son and treated him like a little peasant on a plantation.
She said it with a lot of disgust.
I didn't like it at all. And I would have checked her and I would have let her know. I don't care if you think, it wasn't racism subconsciously. I think you were. I think she was being racist subconsciously. I think she saw color. I just believe that I just don't believe 99.9%. I'll give her the 1% that would have never happened at any of those ladies' houses. That would have never happened with, Renna. That would have never happened with anybody else's kids. The way that she was talking to Oliver, like as if, she was like golden, like, he should have taken her. Like, of course, I don't know. I just don't think she would have approached anyone else's kids the way she approached Garcelle's kids. Even Oliver, I just don't think she would have did that no matter how good looking those other kids were. She would have had a little fear and, respect to approach anyone else's kid like that. Like she approached Oliver, like as if, like he's supposed to drop his wife, as she called the baby mama, have a threesome with her. Like, I just think like she took it like looking down on them. That's how the way I took it. And y'all can comment down below. Tell me what y'all think.
Yeah, let us know. But I don't know she was very aggressive and disgusted with him. But again, was it because she was drunk?
Yeah.
Or if like you said, was there other underlying things that made her look at him like, get out of here? So
the way she spoke to both of them sons, I would have been appalled. I would have.
How many other family members of mine is she gonna go after tonight? First Oliver, now Jax. She's done. Good night.
That was just like it was just disrespectful, even to the oldest son. It was just disrespectful. No regard to his marriage, to his kids, his baby mama, as she put it. Just have respect.
Lifting up her leg.
Your boy Oliver is hot. We were just wondering.
Yeah.
Privates.
Like she's like as if she's a treasure. Like, I want you, and you come here, little peon. Like you should be thankful. Like slave owners do like, when they was raping their slaves.
You want me?
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all can tell me down below what y'all think, and I embrace all opinions.
Yeah. The next scene was Crystal and Dorit at self-defense. Dorit did well. Like you could tell she has a lot of pent-up anger, but it was just something for them to do together.
Yeah, and it was feeding into the whole robbery again. And to me, I was like, oh my God, are we going to talk about this? I get so like ready, my hand on the remote to fast forward it because it's like, God. I get it. Like she wants to like, it'll help her overcome her fear of being alone. I think, she said PK is going away again. And that's what happened when the whole robbery incident took place. He was away. So I guess, whatever makes her feel better, do it.
Yeah. So then they had Sutton and Kyle at dinner. And this is when Kyle apologized about the whole miscarriage and feeling bad for not believing Sutton.
A terrible apology.
She did apologize.
It wasn't like taking accountability apology. It was kind of like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, it was like,
that's what she meant though. Even though that's exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She didn't like admit to it. Like, I think she realized how awful it looked and sounded and how and then she didn't apologize for the way she treated Sutton. And she didn't say anything about the way Diana treated Sutton. Like, I just think, and I just don't believe, like, I think Sutton sticks up for herself, but to a certain point, like I just think she dismisses a lot of things. I would not have dismissed the way Kyle treated her and was like, grabbing on her and, just reprimanding her and just not saying anything to Diana to let Diana know that she was wrong. She said nothing to her. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it should have been more of an apology all around for a lot of Kyle's actions that night, not just the miscarriage part. Like, it was like she did not have sons back at all. It was horrible the way she treated Sutton.
Yeah, it was.
And she didn't apologize for those things.
And Sutton didn't hold her accountable to apologize.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just think Sutton dismisses a lot of things. She does not stick up for herself. So, and it's just terrible because I think the only reason Kyle is responding now, months later, which she probably will say something at the reunion, but I just think in this moment today, like, she's getting so much backlash from people, and I'm sure she's looking at the way it was edited and put together, and she wasn't even there for, like, Garcelle's sons and the laughing, and we're going to get to that, but I just think everything as a whole, when you piece that episode together, Kyle looks horrendous in that instance with that whole episode pieced together, and the way she just treated Sutton, the way she responded, the way Erika was treating Garcelle's son. Kyle was all the way wrong, and now she's responding on social media. Now she's apologizing to people, but she wasn't doing it in these episodes at all.
Because she didn't think she was wrong until she sees it, the reaction from the viewers. And a lot of times they don't. So then they had a scene with Lisa, Rinna, and Diana. And again, it was the same thing. Diana was talking about the argument with Sutton.
And she exaggerated. Like, the way she lied and said, yeah, she's called me a mother effer and she told me I'm soulless. And she just said everything that Sutton said to her, but did not even mention anything of how she treated Sutton and the things that she said to her. She didn't mention anything. And of course, knowing Rinna, she's going to run with that because Rinna's about sucking these women, the certain women of status. She's about sucking their ass. So, I just knew Rinna was going to take that and run with it. And you could just tell, like, the way, like, to me, I would have asked questions. There's no way you can tell me, oh, yes, she said I was soulless and she called me a mother effer. The way that I question people and I grill them like a cheeseburger, I ask them so many questions. I'm like, wait, she called you a motherfucker. Like, what provoked that? Like, what happened? Like, I would have been I would have extracted information from her. There's no way I would have just took that and ran with it and then went in on Sutton. Like, of course, Rinna did. It was predictable.
Sure. And Diana knew that. That's probably why she did the way she did.
Of course. And
then the scene with Kyle, Mauricio, PK, and Dorit. So Kyle then tells them about which Kyle wasn't even there when that happened.
Yeah.
So she's getting the information from, I guess she got the information from Dorit.
You guys, did you miss what Erika said to Garcelle's son, the 14-year-old, to go off?
I was there.
I mean, it's not funny, but it is funny.
I think it's great that she did that.
And I'm like, I'm waiting, like, okay, like, say more. Like, oh, I think it's great she did that because, like, he just said, I think it was great she did.
Well, they did. I mean, I got what they were saying, but it was still deplorable. Like, they were saying that because, they all seem to come to a consensus and agree that Erika is so guarded. It's great that she's letting loose now. She got drunk. It's beautiful. She's letting it all hang out. Even if she's disrespecting kids and telling them to F you, F off, get the F out of here. Like, it doesn't matter. She's cursing kids out. As long, like Dorit said, it wasn't her kid. So she doesn't have no empathy at all. I just
can give like a major pass. And of course, it's not my child, Right.
So I just hated when Dorit said that. That's disgusting. Like you said, at least it wasn't my kid. Dorit was like, well, and of course it wasn't my kid, but I understand it. Like, she was basically saying, like, if it would have happened to my kid, I would have been highly upset, but it's not my kid. So now I can distance myself from the damage that she did to someone else's kid. It's okay. that's forgivable because it's someone else's kid. It's not my kid. So of course I don't have empathy. That's the way I took it. When she said
not so much empathy, but that's for Garcelle to check. And it all depends on your relationship with the next person. Like, if I'm really cool with someone, I could be like, yo, that was really messed up what you did. Like, you really said that to that kid. Oh my God, well, you're gonna have to deal with Garcelle. But if you said that to my kid, like, so I think Dorit's kind of like, look, let Garcelle handle it. Me and Erika are really cool friends. She didn't say it to my kid, I'm not gonna even get involved in this.
No.
I think that's what she said. Again, not standing up to Erika.
That's what I'm saying. That's where all of this is stemming from. I just feel like they are just so intimidated by Erika. Like they so proud that she's like cursing kids out, and no matter how she like lets loose, like they just don't even care as long as she's not guarded and she doesn't like, it's just disgusting.
Until she hasn't done anything to them. That's the thing, because at this point it's been fun and games and everything was more geared to Garcelle's kids. But it's until Erika does something to them, then all of a sudden Erika's a drunken mess.
But they speak up for everyone else. Like everyone else that gets screamed at, they speak up for, they speaking on Crystal. Like that had nothing to do with them. When Crystal was saying the dark comment, she walked in, she felt violated. Like they going in on everyone else that seems to be weaker or that seems to be not as confrontational as Erika and the rest, and Diana. But I just feel like, they bullying. They have like these bullying mean girl ways that I just can't get with. Like when you are selective in your confrontations and is not as strong. And it's just disgusting to me. And I just believe that they got me. What'd you say?
I said Erika's the leader of the pack. And they
and they are intimidated by her. And I just think that she can do no wrong in their eyes.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't even talk about her case anymore. But I was kind of, Mauricio said what he said, and social media went at him to where they want to cancel his new show. Like, people say, his new show on Netflix should be canceled.
And it should. There's consequences to your actions.
Yeah, he said that comment and laughed, and that one comment kind of changed my whole image of him, because I actually liked it. Like, he's cool. He seems like a loyal husband. He's good looking. He's a businessman. He seems like a good dad. He seems like a good stepdad. But that comment made me like, I'm not really feeling him. For him to say that, he's like, he said again, I have to quote this, I think it's great she said she did that. Why?
That's what I'm saying.
Like the professional said what she said about, Erika's getting loose, but he didn't say, I think it's good she did that. She's letting off. Like, he didn't give a reason why. He just said it and they were laughed. So I'm like, why do you think it was good she did that? Like, he didn't give us a reason.
I think it's the way they edited. I'm sure he probably did. He probably agreed. They're married. I just think sometimes they probably think alike. I think he said it. I think he felt that way because of the way they all think of Erika. Like, she's guarded. She's so like, she's so serious. She never she never drank like that, never let loose, but it's okay that she's cursing kids out. Like, as long, even if she lets loose in a dysfunctional way, it's like, it doesn't even matter to them. Like, as long as that's the way I took it. Like, they don't even care. She can go like shoot somebody and it's like, she's letting off steam. Like, just let her. It's good. She got to let it out. Like, to me, it's just disgusting that no one is approaching her to let her know it's wrong. No one. Like, it's just disgusting to me that they all are so intimidated by this woman that they won't even tell her that it's wrong. And I don't believe them when they like, it's great that she's letting loose. They would never do that today. I would never allow that. I could never sit there and watch. I don't even care if I'm not close to them. Yeah. Even if I'm not their friend, I could never watch someone speak to your kid like anyone's kid. Even if I don't know them, even if I see someone speaking to a kid like that, I would have been like, what did he do? Like, why are you speaking to him like that? I would have said something. Just the adult in me and the compassion. I would never allow an adult to speak to a child like that. And I would ask why. There are some kids out here that are like little maniacs, not a kid that's so innocent like that, that's going to get his mom flowers and that's minding his own business. Wasn't even an adult business. Like, there was no reason for her to speak to her child, a 14-year-old like that. And I don't care whose kid it was. It was wrong for Dorit, PK, Mauricio, Kyle, for all of them to even say something like that. Oh, it wasn't my kid. It doesn't matter. It was wrong.
I agree. I totally agree. And for Dorit not to say anything that night to Erika, like, what are you doing? Are you nuts? Like, like, Jax, come back. Erika, apologize right now. Like, do something.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy. Crystal did take Jax and walk him away and kind of like, oh,
Again, Crystal, like I said, she like me. She's sensitive to these little things.
Crystal, I like Crystal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It showed a side to me, like she just wanted to get him up out of there, out of that situation. And I feel, of course, that's what I'm saying. Even before, like I felt I was relating to, her sensitivity and what she's experienced. Because I feel like, there is overt things that happen that's right in your face. And there's other things where you gotta kind of look into it, like subconscious things that happen. And she didn't confront Erika. She didn't do nothing, but she did what was right. Take that kid up out of that situation and deal with them later. And I would, if I was Garcelle, I would have thanked her profusely for that.
Yeah, because you don't know what else Erika would have said.
Yeah.
And I also give it to Jax because one, it shows he has manners. Once it shows that Garcelle doesn't talk to her son that way. Because if Garcelle did, he wouldn't seem so surprised and run to his mother like, oh my gosh, you just told me to get the F out of here.
Yeah.
And depending on the kid, she said to be like, what? Who the hell are you talking to? Like, he didn't disrespect Erika. Some kids could be like, excuse me, who are you talking to?
Exactly.
Some kids could have went toe-to-toe with Erika.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they walked away and not said anything to Garcelle, will let you know that's how they speak to him at home.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
yep.
the fact that he seems such in shock and disbelief.
Mama. I got violated for grabbing flowers. What do you mean? Who violated you? The flowers. She was like, what are you doing here? Out of here. I was like, damn. Erika said that to you? This was grabbing flowers. Are you okay? Damn. Hold on.
Let you know this is not how his mother or other people within his circle speaks to him.
Yeah.
So. And then they had the next scene with Cherie and Garcelle. And it was kind of like Garcelle telling her the same, situation, telling her the same thing that happened with Erika and her son, and that she's going to talk to her about it. And Cherie basically saying, look, if you need me, I got your back.
And I love that part, another depiction of like their friendship and, them being like homegirls. Like, I love it how like Garcelle kind of can let loose with her in a way that she can't with the girl, the housewives. Like, but she was like, here's cheers when they toasted, and they was like, to checking a bitch. Like, I love that part.
Which I don't know if she would have said that to the rest of them. Like, had that kind of bond.
No, they would have been like, what? Checking a bitch? Like, what? No. What does checking mean? Like, check
they don't know.
Yeah.
So then it was Sutton's housewarming when she finally got her house and had the ladies over. And it was like outside, it was raining, they weren't sure how they were gonna walk on the grass. Lisa Rinna had a big thing about changing her big red shoes.
Yeah. And I was getting nervous when Garcelle came in, and I was like, because when she was talking to Cherie, she said, I'm waiting to, I didn't want to check her at the party. I want to check her when she's sober. And to me, I was like, when she walked in, I would have got right down to business. Like, I'm thinking like, oh my God, is Garcelle going to chicken out again? Because like I said, I would have got right down to business soon. They were sitting down. They was making a little small talk here and there. And then I'm like, okay, Garcelle, I'm waiting. Like, and I'm like, and then I see a drink in Erika's hand. I'm like, what is Garcelle doing? Like,
yeah, they were saying hi to each other. I'm like, wait, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen?
I know, and I'm like, I thought you were gonna check a bitch like before she started drinking. But then, thank goodness for previews, because then they showed the next preview, and it is gonna be she gonna check a bitch.
Yeah, but I think Garcelle too. That's another part of her class. Is like, look, this is Sutton's housewarming. We haven't eaten yet. Let's not ruin it. Let's finish dinner.
No.
Early on in the bench, when she walks in.
Yes, because the point of doing that is Erika is on anxiety meds. She's mixing cocktails with it. To me, I would have had it planned out. Like, to me, I'm a planner. So I would have got right down to business as soon as I walked in the door, because you don't want it to get to a point where she getting drunk again on medication.
I see.
So, and then when I saw a drink in her hand, I'm like, okay, I thought the whole purpose of having a discussion with her was before so she's sober. Like, what do you wait? She's drink. She got glasses in her hand with alcohol in it.
Got you. Get it before she starts drinking.
Preview, she's going to approach her, and it looks like Erika's going to bow down, and here come Kyle. But that's in the next episode.
So then we have, them. Who was asking? I think Garcelle was asking Sutton if Diana was coming. And then she said, no, Diana wasn't coming. And then here goes Lisa Rinna basically attacking Sutton. So regarding the incident she had with Diana, when Lisa Rinna only heard one side and wasn't even there.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. The mean girl bullying tactics taking place.
Yeah. So Sutton mentioned, she don't like passive aggressive behavior. Even though Sutton is passive aggressive herself. Sutton has.
I don't think in this instance, I don't see any passive aggression on this, and then the way like Rinna is just like, why are they piling on when this has nothing to do with them? None of them speak. This is the part what I'm talking about, what I was saying before. None of them pile on to these other bitches when they going in on Sutton, when they going in on Crystal, like when they, they don't say anything to these other women like Erika. But now you want to pile on with Sutton talking about how passive aggressive she is in a situation that has nothing to do with you. And I'm on Garcelle's side when she says, well, she was directing at Kyle when she said that Kyle is constantly jumping ship. And it's the same thing with Rinna.
I agree.
Same thing with Rinna. Yeah, it's like they jumping ship as soon. I don't even think they on any, Crystal Sutton ship to begin with, or Garcelle. Like, I just don't even think they ever have their backs.
Yeah, they don't. But at least I'm seeing Garcelle standing up to them. She is. Like when she checked the Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle does jump ship where she feels like, majority. There's that one time she didn't agree with Erika. But overall, she's kind of like really wishy-washy and kind of like, the majority agrees, then maybe I should just agree too.
Yeah, and then it's like on the next episode when they show the preview, when they keep showing that same clip of Kyle butting her nose into the business again. Of course, it's to have Erika's side, the mean girl side, and then she says, in 7 years, Erika has never gotten out of line, and I'm like, is she serious? Like editors hello, put the clips in of all the times that Erika unleashed on people.
Yeah, but it seems like they have this sensitive side they're so sensitive to Erika. I don't know what it is.
Intimidated.
Dorit.
Yeah.
Well, invaded. But it's like this Erika, we don't want to hurt her feelings. We don't want to say the wrong things. We don't want to get her upset. It's just oh my God.
They are very fearful of Erika. I'm sorry. I just think I see it. I just believe that they do not want to ruffle her feathers. They do not want none of Erika.
I think also because Erika's the kind of person, if you do her wrong, she's coming for you. She's going to get mad at you. And I think they value being her friend so high that they don't want anything to go wrong. I don't want Erika to be mad at me. I don't want to do anything to make Erika not talk to me. So it's kind of like one of those things. I'm like, who is Erika?
That's what I'm saying. Why is anyone why can't you just what do they think that they're gonna is she gonna kill them? Is she gonna get the mob after them? Why are y'all so scared of this woman? All it takes is holding her accountable for certain things that she does. And it just seems like they are so afraid of just doing the simplest thing as to holding her accountable. Even when it came seasons ago, one of the ladies, I think it was Teddy, I can't remember which one it was, that she made the woman, Teddy, whoever it was, made a reference toward Erika's son, and the way Erika became so infuriated, she was so upset and just unleashed on them and was like,
don't ever talk about my kid again.
But she didn't talk about your kid.
Shut the up. You don't know what I deal with every night. I don't. Actually, I don't.
That's really insensitive. Your kid's not out there. Don't you ever do that again.
I won't do it.
Don't you ever talk about anyone that puts on a uniform.
I won't.
And defends or serves their public. You for that.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's all right. It's okay.
I'm really taken aback by Erika's reaction.
Take a deep breath. It's okay.
It's like someone's taken over Erika's body.
She loves you.
She
didn't mean it like that.
adores you, and she would never mean it like that. And poor Eileen's sitting there like, what have I done?
Don't ever talk about my kid.
But for Kyle to even say, that we've never seen Erika has had so many moments where she became unhinged. Like, stop saying that this is the first time in 7 years that Erika became like this. No, we constantly have seen Erika become unhinged.
So do you think I would say, fear of Erika's wrath is due to who she was married to? Could that have been what started their fear because she was married to such a powerful attorney?
No, I think they're afraid of the way that she has reacted over the seasons. Like I said, the situation when they asked about the son, and her son is a police officer, the way that she reacted, like she's had so many outbursts, and I just don't think they want her to unload on them. They're afraid because the way that Erika unloads on people and becomes unhinged, no one checks her on it. The way that she spoke to Teddy, like, in certain situations, like, don't call me a liar. And, like the way she unleashed on Sutton. Like, I just don't think they want any parts of Erika when she gets like that. For whatever reason, it's like they're fearful of that. And it wouldn't scare me. Like, what is she doing? She's not taking out guns and knives. Like, it's just her and her mouth and, her anger. But why? Like, I don't understand why they're so afraid to approach her and confront her on anything.
Well, we still have more episodes to go. Hopefully Garcelle steps up and anybody else. Let's wait and see.
And thank you for joining us again in one of our in-depth recaps. And thank you again for subscribing, for taking out the time to watch us. We appreciate it. Tell us your thoughts on anything that you disagree with, whatever you agree with. Put it in the comments down below. We read every comment and we respond to everything. So like I said, thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time on our recap. See you later, alligator.